Hello and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined by Slough joint manager Jon Underwood. How are you, Jon?
Good, thanks, John. You?
Yeah, I'm excited for New Year and the build up to tomorrow's big game against Hungerford.
Me too.
What's the latest team news?
We should hopefully be pretty similar to what we had at Chesham. Unfortunately, that means Jamie McClurg's still not fit. Realistically, he'll probably be back for the Histon game. I think it will be unlikely he'll be involved in these next two. Guy Hollis is away for New Year's Day, as he was on Boxing Day. And Adam Martin, obviously, who we've now signed, begins a 2-match suspension. So squad should be the same. Obviously, Eddie came off with a slight hamstring, a tight hamstring right at the end of the game. Fingers crossed, we're hoping he'll be fit. Might just need a fitness test, but he took part in a light session on Monday, so we're hoping he'll be okay.
New Year's Day, how does it compare to Boxing Day? Again, obviously players may be tempted perhaps to have a tipple the day before.
Yeah, it's kind of the classic, managers. We trained on Monday, and after the session, I gave the lecture that every non-league manager gives his players about looking after themselves, and you can just hope. All you can do is hope that they do the right things. To be fair, I think we've got a pretty sensible bunch. I think they're all we're playing at a good level of football now where you don't need to go out and get drunk on New Year's Eve. There's enough nights in the year to go out and drink, and this isn't a message to the players, but no, we've done this one. But no, I'd like to think most of ours, or hopefully all of ours, will be sensible. I'm sure they'll see in the new year. I'm sure they'll have a couple of beers, but I wouldn't expect anyone to be going mad tonight. And it's a big game for us tomorrow, so we'd expect them to prepare in the right way.
And after the recent cold snap and cold weather, is there any concerns at all about the pitch? Obviously, it seems that the frost and that sort of coldness is lifting now.
Yeah, I know that the pitch was hard yesterday, but I think that the temperatures are picking up. So no, not expecting any issues there with the pitch. So we're expecting to be all good to go.
And a tough match against Hungerford. They haven't been beaten in the league, I think, since the 8th of November. Won their last 3 away games. It's a big challenge.
They're going very well. I mean, they won at Chesham, they won at Redditch. They've in the kind of past month. They're a side that we, at the start of the season, expected to be in and around the playoffs, and I think they would have probably expected to be maybe a couple of places higher than they are now. I think they had a few poor away results earlier on in the season, but they've certainly put that right. And I think they'll be looking to push on and look to get in the playoffs. So it's a real good test for us.
And then 2 games in 2 days. Home game again, a tough one against Burnham, who've been obviously kind of slightly revitalised under their new management team.
Yeah, obviously they won just before Christmas at Banbury. Had a narrow defeat at Hungerford, where I know they missed a late penalty, so they were very close to getting a point at Hungerford, which not many teams do. So yeah, they're going to be up for it, as it's a local derby, as we will be. So it will be a tough game. I think the league form goes out the window. The league table, you forget about the table for a local derby. We're expecting a tough game. We know their managers well. We've got a lot of time for their managers. We genuinely want them to do really well, but obviously not against us. That's a game we need to go and win for ourselves.
And with the blend and mix of the squad that we have, how are you going to manage that over the two games in 2 days?
Well, we will look to use the squad a little bit. I think 2 and 3 days. If you've got what would be a regular starting 11 and then squad players that aren't at the same standard, then I think you probably keep the team the same. But that's not where we are. We see our squad very much on a level playing field. Obviously, we haven't made many changes recently because we've been playing well, but we've already said to the players we will use the squad over the 2 games, and we'll tweak it here and there because I don't think it weakens us to do that. There's very good players sat on the bench at the moment, so. I don't think we will. It won't be a massive overhaul, but you expect to see a few changes. Obviously, we need to see what happens on Thursday. Do we pick up any knocks, and then we'll worry about Saturday. But first and foremost, we're picking a team that we believe can go and win on New Year's Day.
And so, what would be satisfactory kind of points and results wise out of these 2 home games? Because you want to do well at home, you want to turn it into a fortress at Holloway's.
Yeah, we're on a good run at the moment. You'd say 4 points. But you normally say 4 points from any 2 games in this league is a good return. But we have to be aiming for 6. It's that comes down to where your ambitions are really, and we're still really ambitious about what this season could hold. So, Hungerford are 6 points clear of us. Normally a point against Hungerford is a good result, but we have to be aiming to win that game and close the gap on them.
And then reflecting on the season overall, both this season, you're halfway through it, and the whole reflecting back at New Year's. What do you make of it? How was 2014 for you?
Overall the year's been great. Obviously we got the promotion in May, which was kind of the biggest day of my footballing career. I know Bakes said the same. It was a huge achievement for us to do it in our first season. So, as a whole, it's been a fantastic year. There's been a few downs as well. Start of last season was tough. This time last year we were really down in the dumps. We'd had a terrible December. Confidence was rock bottom. And then we had a fantastic start to the new year, and really that kicked us on. And we're actually in a better position now than we were this time last year. So, there's no reason we can't push on and finish really strongly. As far as this season's concerned, we're satisfied where we are. We've got we're well clear of any kind of danger at the moment, which is obviously your first thing that you look to do when you go up. But we want to finish as high as we can, and our aim has always been, can we keep the playoffs in sight? And there's a little bit of a gap there now, and that's why, if we're serious about getting close to that, we need to have a really good start to the new year. But we're at the same time, we're not putting lots of pressure on ourselves. We know it's our first season. We are still learning about the league. I think we've seen a good amount of it now. I think we know what's required, and there may well be things that we tweak as we go through the second half of the season, and if we don't quite make it this year, we need to be in a position, in a year's time, where we're sat here and we're very much looking at the playoffs.
And at what point do you think that will come? Is it by late January, if that gap, as you say, is a little bit bigger? Is that the time at which you kind of reflect and say, actually, we're not going to make any more marquee signings or anything like that at a stage, and kind of try and push, and actually let's consolidate and let's look at that slightly longer term picture?
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I don't think we'll drastically change anything this season, depending on how the next month or so goes. I don't think you're certainly not going to see the chairman turn around saying you're not going to make the playoffs, we're going to slash the budget and get rid of lots of players. That's not the way he is, that's not the way we are. Whether we're winning or losing, I think it's inevitable. I think as this season goes on, we will look to probably tweak a few things, because I think the squad at the start of next season will not be exactly the squad we have now, and that's nothing against anyone within the squad. That's just the way football goes. I don't think there'll be any squad that starts next season with the same squad they've got now. So we're just constantly looking to try and improve, and that'll either be getting more out of the players that we've got to get us higher up the table, or potentially bringing in a little bit of fresh blood, as we've done with Adam Martin.
Moving ahead a year, we're looking then back at 2015. Where would you like to be?
But this time next year,
yeah,
in the Conference South, having won the playoffs. But I think that's obviously a very tall order. No, as I say, if we if we don't get there this year, I know we've only been at this level for half a season, but myself and Bakes are massively ambitious. We want to manage at the highest level we can and get there as quick as we can, and in a realistic way. And there's lots of exciting things happening. It's a great club to be at. With the talk of the new ground, we could be sat here this time next year ready to move into a new ground, and that brings added expectations, potentially added revenue into the club, which could help us attract, and keep an even bigger, stronger squad. So it's we're delighted we're at Slough at this moment in time. We're pleased with what we've done so far, but we've got a lot we still want to do at the club, and we're excited. We're excited for the year ahead. It's never a dull moment at Slough, and I'm sure there'll be a few downs as well as ups, but we're very positive about what the future holds.
And what's any New Year message for the fans?
Just to keep supporting us. I think that the fans generally have been fantastic with us. Obviously, there's been a few questions and doubts at times when things haven't gone well. Hopefully, they they see that we have progressed the club in the last kind of year and a half that we've been here, and I think there's a bit of trust in us now, which is great, and they're behind us. I think one area where we always talk about is when we're at Holloway's Park, things are a little bit quiet sometimes. It's I think people are sick of going to Holloway's Park. I think we want to get back into Slough. Everyone shares that hope. I guess the message would be, while we're still there, make the support as loud and noisy as you can, because it does make a difference, and we need to improve still on our home form, and I think the fans can play a part in that. So that would be it, really. Just keep supporting us, keep supporting the lads, and hopefully we can go and have a real successful year.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time. I hope you have a nice new year. Any resolutions?
Just to keep improving.
And what about any suggestion for the other joint manager?
No, you're leading me down a path to give him some stick. I've done that before and I won't do it again. So no, I'll leave that one there for you all to wonder what that might be. But no, just wish everyone a happy new year, and looking forward to seeing a good crowd tomorrow.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.